When the dust settled at Belmont Park on June 9, 1973, the world knew it had witnessed something impossible. 31 lengths. The name Secretariat echoed through the grandstand long after the race was over. People didn't rush to the exits. They stayed. They stared at the track as if trying to understand what had just happened. Some champions win. A rare few change history, but Secretariat did something even greater. He changed belief. In the weeks after his historic victory in the Belmont Stakes, newspapers across America printed his image on their front pages. Children cut out pictures of him and taped them to bedroom walls. Racing fans replayed the race over and over, trying to measure the margin with their eyes. But how do you measure a miracle? Secretariat returned to racing later that summer. Though he had already secured immortality with the Triple Crown, he continued to compete, reminding the world that greatness isn't built in a single day. He won the Marlboro Cup in record time, defeating older horses. He showed versatility, strength, and professionalism that extended beyond the Triple Crown. Yet behind the roaring crowds and flashing cameras, something quieter was happening. His trainer, Lucien Lorin, often said that Secretariat possessed not just speed, but intelligence. He understood the track. He sensed the moment. And his jockey, Ron Turcotte, described riding him as effortless power, as though the horse decided when to accelerate and the rider simply went along for the journey. By the end of 1973, Secretariat retired to stud at Claiborne Farm in Kentucky. It was the end of his racing career, but not the end of his story. Fans traveled miles just to see him. They stood quietly outside his paddock, watching him move with the same elegance that once dominated racetracks. He wasn't racing anymore, but he still carried that presence, that aura. Years passed, but his Belmont run remained unmatched. Analysts broke down his stride length. Historians compared him to other champions. Generations of racehorses came and went. None erased him. It was not officially recorded in detail, but those who saw it were stunned. Suddenly, the metaphor became reality. The horse who ran with endless courage had physically carried an extraordinary heart. But the truth is, his greatness had never needed scientific confirmation. It lived in memory, in replay footage, in the trembling voice of the Belmont announcer, in the eyes of those who stood in that grandstand in 1973. Secretariat became more than a racehorse. He became a symbol, a reminder that limits are often illusions. That sometimes, once in a lifetime, something arrives that defies logic. Even today, when fans watch the Belmont replay, they lean forward as he rounds the far turn. They expect the other horses to catch up. They never do. He keeps pulling away. And in that image, that growing gap, lies his legacy. He didn't just beat other horses. He outran expectation. He outran doubt. He outran time. At racetracks across America, young jockeys still whisper his name.